for joining me, Raj, on Beer with the CFO. I've got mine here, and I'll actually show the can because it's quite beautiful. We are having an Angry Orchard peach and mango cider, and I did a little bit of research. This is a 60-acre orchard in New York, so what a great time of year to be enjoying anything peach and anything mango. So thank you for joining us. Raj Lakhani is the CFO of Core Business Technologies. They are a PE-backed business. And let's talk about that just a little bit too. For PE-backed companies, we know that the investors throw a lot of things at you. Let's talk a little bit about where to focus. Where should a CFO focus in the first 6 months to a year?
There are 3 areas of focus. And you can, by the way, have many areas of focus, but I have seen over the years and being CFO for so many years, at least 3 areas you can never leave your eye off them, and you have to literally hone your skills, and you have to do them very, very well to be a successful CFO. So the first area is FP&A, second is accounting, and third is working capital management. So FP&A, it comprises of 3 areas in itself, according to me, by the way. There could be others. One is forecasting, one is budgeting, and then, it says an analysis itself, that's very important. I believe the bedrock of all 3 is financial modeling. And the goal of all 3, forecasting, budgeting, and analysis, is capital allocation. You can allocate capital so that you can get great return on investments, and you actually increase shareholder value. So it's very important. You become better in this area, FP&A, over time. It's both art and it's a science. So it takes time. You become very good, but it takes time. You will never be very good at, the technical skills to do FP&A, all the things which you learn in school and over the years, when you experience, they're good. But to become a very good FP&A professional, you also need to collaborate with a lot of people, because other people's knowledge should become part of your knowledge. And that basically enhances the forecasting, budgeting, and the analysis skills of FP&A discipline. And so you have to be a very good team player, and you have to be a very good communicator. The second area is accounting. Accounting, by the way, is a table stake. If the shareholders, the stakeholders can't trust your numbers, rest everything does not even matter. So you should be able to generate financials which are compliant with US GAAP. If you don't do that, then again, rest everything becomes ancillary, or people will not trust your numbers and you will not be seen in good light. You could lose your job also, by the way. So that's the second one. And the third one is working capital management. Now, working capital management may seem like, it's not a big thing. No, it is a very big thing. And I'll explain to you how. See, working capital itself, the definition is current assets minus current liabilities. Current assets, they comprise of cash and accounts receivable. These 2 things are there, and inventory and other things as well. But both cash and accounts receivable are part of the current assets. The right balance of the 2 is very, very important. And especially for a private equity backed companies, you guys know that the companies grow, not only because of organic growth, but they also grow because of inorganic growth. So private equity companies usually try to acquire many companies. And mostly it is in a very levered scenario. So i.e. the debt, by the way, is a very big part of the capital structure once you start acquiring companies. There are companies which are very profitable, but profit does not mean cash. So profit may or may not help you to meet your cash obligations. And once, by the way, you acquire so many companies and you become highly levered, not only you need cash for your operating needs, but you also need cash for paying the principal and the interest which you got from the lenders, you receive from the lenders, to pay for the companies, acquire the companies which you bought. So you have to keep a very good eye on these 3 things. And if you take you say, okay, I'm very good in FP&A and I'm very good in accounting, but you did not watch the working capital. Yes, you could be in a very dire strait. You have to pay the payroll, cash comes up. You pay payroll with cash, not with profits. So US GAAP is not going to help you, even though you may look like a profitable company. So I will say that every person who aspires to be a CFO, they should not shy away from any of these things. They should not say, oh, well, I don't care about accounting or I don't care about this. You have to be very good at all three to be very successful. And once you, by the way, become a CFO, you have to remember this. The private equity companies, and by the very nature, everybody demands, that you need to accomplish so much in a very short period of time. So many things will be thrown at you, but you have to prioritize these three things. When you do these three things very well, you have a very, very great chance of being a very successful CFO.
It sounds like if you can master these three things, really nothing else matters. Unless you can get those three things right, anything else you focus on and produce is really not going to matter unless you have those three mastered.
Exactly. And by the way, I would say the FP&A is basically on the borderline, of strategy and operations. I think it can accomplish both. After all, every initiative the organization takes, finally it boils down to financials. And again, as I mentioned to you, FP&A is not a science only. All the techniques you learned in school and all that, yes, it's also a very big art. And you should try to collaborate, you should try to help your people in the management, the people who are not good in finance, but they need your skill set, they need your help, to succeed. When you help them, they provide you great input, and that makes your forecasts, your budgets and all that much more viable and better.
So Raj, CFOs are very disciplined by nature, and we talked a little bit about how you start your day. Can you talk to us how important good exercise and good education is to you and to any CFO or working professional to have a good start?
So there's a principle, by the way, Kaizen principle. I think it's a Japanese principle. And by the way, it talks about discipline. It teaches you that you should improve yourself every day. I feel, by the way, that two things are very important. I mean, for being successful, you should have a healthy mind and you should have a healthy body. So healthy body, so you have to give yourself time to exercise every day in the morning. That's the first thing, try at least 80-90% of the day. And second thing, you should read a lot. And by the way, I'm not saying reading like a student the whole day. I'm saying at least give yourself half an hour to 1 hour to learn the skill set you need to be successful. When some kind of conversation is happening in your company, say some initiative, something is going to happen. If suppose it's happening in a month, please start reading it right away. So when the time comes, you're able to execute. So these two things, I feel like, that they're very important to me. And I try my best that these two things should be accomplished right in the morning.
Wonderful. Great advice from Raj Lakhani. Thank you so much. And I so appreciate that you suggested the Angry Orchard. I'm going to enjoy this. I very much enjoyed our conversation. So thank you for joining us on Beer with the CFO. We'll see everyone next time. Cheers, Raj.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good one. Thanks for giving me time. Bye.